Hey everyone, Palantir stock investors got some massive news lately and the stock price has been reacting to that news. So in this video, I'm going to review the latest highlights from Palantir and hopefully investors can get a better grasp on why Palantir's stock price is soaring.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So one of the reasons why Palantir stock price is soaring is revenue growth. But it's not just revenue growth. Palantir is growing the business profitably, and we're going to see that in this video here. So revenue growth accelerated to 20% in the fourth quarter, but adjusted operating profit margin continued to expand to 34% in the fourth quarter, highlighting the strong unit economics of the business. Palantir demonstrated its fifth consecutive quarter of GAAP profitability. So after nearly 2 decades of not generating GAAP profitability, Palantir all of a sudden 5 straight quarters of GAAP profitability as management started to shift their focus to profitable expansion. For decades, they were just focused on improving the product, improving the service, growing the business, attracting customers. Now they're focused on doing all of that, but also doing all of that profitably, and it's demonstrated in their results. Operating profit accelerated in each quarter of last year. Management also saying that for 2024, profitability will continue. So 2023 was not a fluke year. They expect profitability will continue in 2024, although management has held back on saying profitability will continue longer term or giving longer term forecasts on profitability. They've just noted that for 2024, they'll continue generating profitability. So their customer count grew by 35% year over year and 10% sequentially to 497 customers. This has been a difficult challenge for Palantir. Their service is really, really good. They have the best service in their industry in AI related solutions, software solutions. But they're expensive. They're really expensive. That's why they only have 497 customers. 497. That's not that much for a company that's generating hundreds of millions and billions in revenue annually. So, in the most recent quarter, growing their customer count by 35% was an inflection point, 10% from the previous quarter. They've made their solution easier to use and they've been able to attract more commercial customers as a result of that. That's the evidence that many investors were waiting to see. Can Palantir cross that bridge and making their service more available, more broadly available to enterprises worldwide? And the reason why investors want to see that is because there's so many more businesses than there are governments and government institutions. Palantir has done a good job in making inroads with governments and government institutions because they have deeper pockets, bigger budgets, and they can afford Palantir services. They've had a harder time with the commercial side of the business. So now that investors saw this, it was really big news for Palantir stock investors, and it unlocked a lot of value because now you can look at their business 2, 3, 5 years ahead and say, man, if they keep making this kind of progress, making their service more affordable, more accessible, easier to use, then more and more businesses can afford Palantir, and that opens up a massive opportunity for Palantir that's already demonstrated that they offer excellent customer value, right? The trailing 12-month revenue from their top 20 customers increased 11% year over year to 55 million per customer. If they weren't providing excellent value to these customers, then they wouldn't increase their spending with Palantir, right? You only increase your spending with a service or a product when you feel like you're getting a good value as a customer. If you feel like you're getting your money's worth, you say, oh, I like that. I want to spend more here. Well, these top 20 customers, they feel like they're more than satisfied, so much so that they want to increase their spending with Palantir. And they did so at an 11% rate, which was, again, very good news for Palantir stock investors. Overall, commercial revenue grew by 32% year over year, much more than the revenue growth of the business, which only grew 20%. So the commercial revenue grew faster than overall revenue, which now makes up a larger part of its business. Palantir stock investors, like I mentioned, have been waiting for this, value to get unlocked. I've been talking about it for years now. Palantir's been working diligently on this initiative, and we're finally starting to see evidence that Palantir has made good progress on making this more accessible. Additionally, they booked $343 million of U.S. commercial contract value in the most recent quarter, which was 107% year-over-year growth. So these are contracts that Palantir signed that will eventually turn into revenue that has not yet turned into revenue. So you might think of this like a deal, a 3-year deal or a 5-year deal with a commercial business that Palantir will serve, and then Palantir will recognize revenue on a rated basis. So as they provide the service, they can then recognize revenue as they provide service. So the 107% year-over-year growth to 343 million signals excellent revenue forecasts, revenue potential for the next few quarters at the very least, perhaps even for 8 to 12 quarters, depending on the length of these contracts. Really, really good news for Palantir. The US commercial customer count grew to 221 customers, reflecting 55% growth year over year. And international commercial revenue grew 11% year over year. Now, international has not been as strong for Palantir as has been US business, although 11% growth in the international commercial segment was positive because this had been negative for Palantir a couple of times in the recent few years. So getting this part of its business back to growth was a good sign for Palantir stock investors. And finally, management gave excellent guidance to investors for what's coming up in 2024, saying for the full year 2024, we expect revenue of between 2.65 billion and 2.668 billion. That would be solid growth to be sure, and adjusted free cash flow between 800 million and 1 billion for 2024, with GAAP operating income and net income for each quarter of this year. So again, like in 2023, management saying that 2024 will be a year of profitability on the bottom line, not just for the full year overall, but in each and every quarter, we will be profitable in 2024, while also increasing revenue, while also expanding the effectiveness of our services, and really having a continuation of the excellent year we had in 2023. We expect that to continue in 2024. Thank you for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. I know there's a lot you could be doing with your time and a lot of other videos you could be watching. So I truly appreciate that you chose to watch this one. If you want to see more videos just like this, hit the subscribe or the like button. They'll both help me make more videos just like this one. Thank you again.